Okay, so in a previous lecture, I shared with you how to set up the proper search filters so you could potentially find winning campaigns. So with that in mind, the very first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to try the ad strength type of search filter. And again, I'm going to be using this on a country that was listed as a best performing country through that chart I showed you through MGID's Traffic Insight. Now, remember, there's three different types of main search filters. We're going to go through ad strength, ad gravity, and ad duration. Now, what I recommend is that you go through all these search filters similar to the way I'm going to show you, and you apply that process to all the countries that was on that list. And the reason why is because it's going to give you more options for you to choose from, and it could potentially help you out in certain circumstances or depending on your ad budget, whatever seems more appealing to you. For example, USA, again, it has more expensive cost per click. So if you do this process throughout multiple countries, you could potentially see one that potentially fits your budget better in terms of pricing, or a niche you're more familiar with, or potentially a language you're more familiar with. But typically, even if it's a foreign language, you could just simply use the Google Translate extension on Chrome and have the whole landing page translated. They tend to work out fine. So don't worry about pursuing a campaign that's in a country or culture you're not familiar with. So to begin, let's get started. We're going to use the ad strength search filter and hit the search button. Now, before we begin, one thing I also like to do is make sure the days running bar is around minimum 14 days, maximum up to 30 days. And the reason I do that is because I like to see what's kind of new the past month. And when you do this, what you're looking for is patterns. So I have the filter set up, and you can see just based on images, more sexual images are typically having the higher ad strength. And these first campaigns here, these are articles. They're not really promoting a specific product, and they're monetizing on a different way. So we're not really looking for stuff like that, but the images can give us an idea as to what's working. So keep that in mind. This is an affiliate product, so that might be something you want to heart and keep in mind. Now, ad strength means it's been running and it was considered a strong ad, but of course it's not current. But I would still save this because it could give you an idea as to what could work in that niche. And it could also give you an idea if you click here and look at what other creatives this affiliate is currently running, that could help as well. So all I'm doing is just scrolling through. I would probably save this, add it to favorites so I could refer to it later. This here is an ad for a game. So I would consider that because it shows you gaming ads were considered pretty strong, or at least this creative was, this game was, this type of image was, and also this type of image was. So I would consider saving that for reference and ideas. So we see pretty much sexual type of images being promoted. We have an erectile dysfunction campaign here, and you can kind of see the images that was being used. So this is something to keep in mind. So we looked at ads that were considered strong while they were running. Now I'm going to try the different filter here called duration and see what kind of ads throughout their history have been running the longest. So now these are the results for ads that have been running for a long time. And as you can see, the offers that look like they're working are dating type of offers. So we see Russian and Asian seem to be the type of offers that is working in the US. Again, they may or may not be current. It just shows ads that are based on longest running. So it gives you an idea as to what is working, what's converting, and you just may want to save a few just so you have reference and ideas, because they may be giving you a good idea as to what's working now. Lastly, we're going to try the search filter that is based on gravity. Now, Personally, Gravity, I like this filter the best because it shows more recent ads. The other two show a good history of what may have worked in the past, but they may or may not be running currently. So try the Add Gravity ad search filter and see what kind of results you get. So these are the results for Add Gravity, and as you can see, they are current and live. And if you did the previous search filters, you'll notice, hey, you know what? Gaming, and of course, the type of sexual images is still working today. But hey, maybe you want to try that old image that you saw previously, or you want to look at the history and see what's working now. Again, gaming might be good because it's running now. We have one fat loss campaign. Remember, there was also one before that we saw previously when we did ad strength as well. Erectile dysfunction, still working today. Again, with a different image this time. So if you're considering running this campaign, you might want to look at the history shown in the previous lectures or the previous search filter, excuse me. And that is pretty much how you're going to find campaigns here. When you see multiple patterns and multiple type of ads being shown throughout those different search filters, for example, they have a long history of being run for a long time, they have high ad strength, they're currently being running now. These are all good signs that, hey, you know what? If one campaign fits all those three or 2 out of 3, that's a considerably good ad to run and test out. So that's pretty much how I filter out ads. I like to see ads that have a history of being run successfully within that country. I like to see ad creatives and ad themes that have a strong strength because it shows me, hey, that strength has been working in the past. And I also like to see the ad gravity because it's more current. And if I see stuff that has worked in the past and is still running today, those are all strong signals to me that I should consider pursuing a campaign that is very similar to start off with. One last thing I like to consider is I like to open up the ads that I saved that show these strong patterns. So for example, we open up this ad creative, this gaming one. Again, it has the same themes that looked to be successful previously when we did the search filter. And one last check I like to do is I like to see how much traffic they're running through certain countries. And if my main country that I was targeting in the search filter was US, then I like to see that that country is high on their list of traffic. So, for example, if 20% of his traffic is going US and that's his second highest country that he's targeting, to me, this is a good sign because it also shows me that this campaign is perhaps one of his higher successful ones that are more profitable. So, to me, I would consider pursuing this even further. This is a stronger sign for me. And lastly, I like to click the statistics button and I like to hit the monthly button or weekly button to see how long this campaign has been running and how much volume has increased. So, for example, if he started this campaign in January and his spend or volume of this ad creative is increasing, then chances are he's spending more money here on this campaign because it's more profitable for him. So, to me, this is another good sign. And of course, if it has more months here, such as duration, again, that's one of the principles of the search filters I shared with you. That's an even better sign. So that's how I use Anstrax to look at native ad campaigns that are more likely to be profitable and successful for me. Of course, there are things to consider. You're not going to profit right away because there's still some stuff you don't know. I'm going to discuss that in a different lecture. But to me, you want to start off with the best foot, and doing stuff this way is, in my opinion, a great way to determine that. So I hope those help. Again, you want to follow this process through multiple countries because you never know if there's one that has a better fit for you. So keep that in mind. Hope this helps. This is Paulo Purdue from libertyblueprint.com. Take care. I'll see you on a future lecture.